It's a Saturday. The weather looks like another warm one today, then cooler tomorrow, and then significantly cooler or milder into next week. So the heat that we're experiencing today and that we experienced the last couple of days is going to wane, if you will, especially at the coastal sections today, or around the bay, and then inland stays hot. But tomorrow, Sunday, everything kind of cools down. Still very warm, still hot inland, upper 90s, upper 90s, and even low 100s down towards Bakersfield. And we generally flatten the temperatures out. So what we have right now is a very, very shallow inversion. We'll look at the profiler. We'll also look at this camera shot. This is from Mount Tamalpais looking to the south, and you see the fog this morning, shallow, really shallow. And then as the high builds in, you'll see this in the satellite image too, it takes that fog and sweeps it away from the coast, and that is allowing for temperatures coastside right now in the 60s. Fog will sweep back in most likely tonight and tomorrow, and that will cool things further. But in the meantime, you've got all these watches and warnings around the area. This area, first of all, shows the fog. That's the dense fog advisory along the coast. So visibility is really nasty south of Pigeon Point on Highway 1 into Santa Cruz. That's what happens when the marine layer gets really pinched down. Up here, there's enough of an offshore wind that it pushed it away from the coast. But down here, it's not as pronounced. The high intensity of the high is further north. This is a winded storm warning, it's for wind, a storm warning offshore. It's more than 60 miles out, but it's going to blow like 50 miles an hour winds, maybe more in this zone. So that's going to create a real jumbled sea surface as we go into tonight and tomorrow. So even though we just have small craft advisories here, gale warnings offshore, but small craft advisories along the coast, the ocean's going to be jumbled up. It's going to be jacked up just because of that much wind. And if you're a surfer and you didn't know this, even in Santa Cruz, that big wind up there is going to, when that swell, by the time that swell tomorrow gets into Santa Cruz, it's going to be just really fractured and just kinetic, just all over the map, not clean, if you will. So there we go, and then there's a red flag warning out in the Reno area out towards South Lake Tahoe. So we can take a look. This is the profiler, I believe. Yes, it is, and this is a cross section of the fog. So if you were standing, let's say we're just looking out from San Francisco's Ocean Beach, and you just were able to look north towards Stinson, just cut it and see the different striations. Well, this is the temperature, warmer here. Not as warm, but still warm, and then cooler, right? You see the colors change. Well, time works from right to left on the profiler. This was yesterday. Shallowed out yesterday afternoon, deepened up a little bit last night, and then shallowed out again this morning, only to deepen as we go into the next couple of days. And that deepening will be the cooling. So this is how you know it's going to be another hot day. I'll check back. I won't do this, but if I were to do this and check back with you at 3 o'clock, that inversion is going to be up around 1,000 feet instead of, like right now, it's probably 800 feet. It's evidenced by the Mount Tam camera, but it will be deepening out. And by Sunday, it'll be up to 1,500 feet, 1,600 feet, and much cooler around here. So Ocean Beach live camera as of 10 o'clock this morning. You don't see the wind yet, but it'll be breezy out there. Great highway, folks strolling along. The sand dunes getting ready to do what they do, and that is move around, because that wind the next couple of days is going to be pretty prolific along the coast, and even along the Great Highway, it's going to be breezy. So it might be one of those weekends and into next week where they're pushing sand off the Great Highway. Here is the satellite loop, or the satellite image, visible, awesome. There's that swath being cut out. That's the high pressure. And here's the dense fog advisory, right? The high pressure not strong enough in the south to sweep the fog out yet. It will, but not yet. But right now we've got the highs building in, and look what the wind does. It blows offshore. And those are our heat conditions. That's when it gets really hot around here. You look at Point Conception, Santa Barbara, Santa Monica, down into San Diego, dense fog down there as well. And that's going to be, it'll burn a little bit off this afternoon, but it's going to be a really shallow, compact marine layer. As we get into tomorrow, this goes away and the flow becomes more onshore and fog fills in and it becomes more of a typical late spring, early summer day, which means fog, temperatures not well above the average, heat advisories go away tomorrow, most likely. It's certainly at our latitude. These are the watches and warnings for tomorrow. There is the heat advisory, all over the place, up into Idaho, up into Montana. A red flag warning out in the Reno areas we looked at, and then a heat warning down towards Bishop and the areas of Eastern California, which is really, heat warnings are scary to me. Well, heat advisories too, because heat's the thing. Heat's the thing that causes folks the most distress and loss of life in terms of weather. It's heat. We talked about that yesterday a little bit. And here's Minnesota. Let's say they got an air quality advisory. So the smoke's blowing down from Manitoba on a cold front, and it's just the whole state is enveloped in kind of smoke, which, talk about nasty, air quality, it's not, breathing smoke is not good, and especially from wildfires. And so that's what we got there, smoke, air quality alerts out in parts of Michigan as well, and then a little bit of wind here, and then some rain here. But pretty quiet overall, except for out west. And by tomorrow, it will have quieted down. These are the temperatures for today. So 104 in Redding today. Tomorrow, Redding's 94, so 10 degrees cooler. So today, 104. 102 in Sacramento. Tomorrow, Sacramento's down into the 90s as well. San Francisco, 71. They're down a few degrees from yesterday, and that's because there's a little more of an onshore flow. Bakersfield, 105. Los Angeles, 84 for today. Temperatures tomorrow, like I say, dropping down a little bit. Actually significant, like 5 to 10 degrees. Even Southern California, Los Angeles downtown goes 78 degrees. San Diego, 75. Bakersfield, 98 degrees, so not over 100. And Sacramento in the upper 80s, low 90s. It's still hot, but you can see that's the beginning of the cooling trend. And we can see it represented here. Let's see if I can do this. I think I can do this. Yeah. And you can see that front coming in. Let's see, this is it. This is the cooler air coming in. So is it going to bring rain now? Is it going to bring wind? Yeah, along the coast. And it's going to bring a cooler weather pattern in. And that'll help air quality because it is a spare of the air day today. So air quality gets a break as well. And you can kind of see the curvature. See that low pressure? There's a low further to the south down here that's mixing into this. And that's that rotation around the low. You can kind of see the high pressure spinning right like that. It's interesting what you can see in a satellite image. That's an awesome image too because it's it's a visible satellite image, and so you can see you're not looking at just temperature, you're looking at actually where the cloud is that picks up fog nicely. Okay, so loop around us, and I'll back it up a little bit. And this is today. You're like, what's going on? I can't tell. But what you can see, the feature that does pick up is see that southern low merges with that northern low. That's Sunday. That's the cooling. That's the marine layer being lifted. These two, especially the one to the north, that guy right there. That thing is just going to lift that inversion up, spew, and just puke fog well inland. And it stays. Look at this. Look at the jet stream, how it stays right over us. So it's I wouldn't call it nondescript, but it's definitely unusual for this time of year and has the potential to deliver some thunderstorms up around Lake Tahoe, maybe even some drizzle around here. We'll see, but that's a progress. I mean, look at this guy. This is on June 13th. What's going on there, right? So we'll keep an eye on it. I'm not really married to this scenario other than right here. That's tomorrow. That's the cooling. In the next few days, cooling. I'm married to that, okay? We're not breaking up. But then when you get into this down the road Fantasyland stuff, that looks like some potential for rain, right? And I'm not so convinced that the models are that kicking bottom that they're picking it up that far out. They might, that'd be awesome, but I don't know if it is. So we know what's happening now. Heat today, cooler tomorrow by 10 degrees, still nice. And then all next week just kind of, deep marine layer, cool, moist air, mild conditions. And then the model just shows, see the winds, look at the winds up in the black lines, how close together they are. This is a significant wind up here, and that's a northwest wind. So will fire danger come up? Yeah, it will. Definitely, with any kind of wind this time of year, almost any time of year now. And then we just see the winds continue to sort of be breezy. This plays a lot into not air quality, allergies, because I think, I'm going to guess the allergies, if you're still being bothered, trees not as bad, but grasses and weeds are up. But the allergies are going to, with the wind, if you're like me, I'm kind of suffering today a little bit, the allergies are going to be kind of a pain. So not as prolific in terms, because the tree pollens are the most difficult to manage in terms of your body, because they're at eye level. But the grasses and weeds, when you get the winds blowing, it stirs it up, brings it up into your face. So that's one of the deals. And of course, we got the birds who are, I haven't seen them fly yet. They're awesome to watch. They're in a different stage of life. And, as I watched them yesterday a little bit and to this morning a little bit, they're kind of like, I said it yesterday, but just judging the wings, it's awesome. I said it yesterday that they are kind of feel like, to me, like they're getting closer. Like, I think they know that this leaving is imminent, and I think that they're going to miss each other, and mom and dad. But I think I don't know. Then yesterday I caught them kind of hanging out and getting along, and they always get along. But anyway, that's it. I'll see you back here. Oh, swell comes up a bunch this weekend, and at the end of this weekend into Monday, Tuesday, not a bunch, but it gets 6 to 8 foot in some places. So that's good if you like to surf, but the winds are going to be kind of sketchy. Okay. Looks like he's going to fly, and then he poops. Okay. It is awesome how they do that, because if you think about it, when you think the nest would just be white with unk, but they're really good at kind of getting out on the outer branches and just doing their biz. Okay. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow.